Yo, what's up from Honduras? What's up, man? Whew. So we are going to be learning Blender. Part of that journey includes this is live for beginners because you're looking at a beginner, the number one beginner, some have called me, learning how to model. So in the lower right, you should see what our target is, which is a really great photograph. Don't know the original artist, but I can put it in the link down in the description once I go back and pull it, but it's a really great photograph. So I sort of was learning on the fly, so I figured why not just kind of share it with people, because it wouldn't necessarily make a great tutorial since I'm still learning myself a lot of this stuff. So here we are. This is what we have so far. So you can kind of see we're not going to be exactly proportionally correct, but we're going to try to get pretty close. So right now I'm working on the door and the windows, and I'm using a mirror modifier. So I just have to work on half of the building at once. Kind of. I don't. Well, we might make this unlisted, so if you're on our Patreon, we might link it there. Typically, these streams don't do particularly well when they're, you know, posted after the fact. They're kind of long and generally boring, especially if you weren't following along with the chat. So maybe not posted, maybe just unlisted. But I am still learning, so literally everything you see is in some capacity probably not correct in terms of how to do everything. How should I rotate that? How should I get this to be angled? I'll be honest, I do not like that at all, the way I did that. Probably going to reverse a lot of that. I think I've got to start. Is everyone excited for the holidays to come? Yeah, this is for like serious beginners, bro. Serious beginners. You know, I could actually There's a plugin that I can get that'll show what I'm pressing on screen, if that's useful to you guys. I can get it maybe next time. There's so much that I don't know. It's like unbelievable. Everything is just kind of like a hack for me still. There's a way to snap to vertice, but I don't know how to do it. Got a lot of bad habits. Like not knowing how to get rid of this face, so just deleting stuff and hoping that it works. We'll see how it goes. Oh, that's what I always hate. So you delete the wrong vertex and it just deletes the entire object. I don't think that that's like kosher what I did there, but it got the job done. So I guess that's all that really matters, right? I'll add a door later. I think what I want to work on now Hey, I love your Cinema 4D tuts. I just completed a 3D mobile game project for a client, and honestly, I owe it to you. I learned Cinema 4D from watching your tuts. I don't know why I say tuts. Your tutorials. Thank you so much. I will send that over to Eli. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that you enjoy his Cinema 4D tutorials. Works really hard on them, puts a lot of time into them, and so that's really exciting for him, I'm sure. Yeah, dude, good luck, man. Good luck working in the industry. No, it's a competitive one, I'm sure. So I guess we could probably start adding some detail to this building. I think roughly speaking, it's in a decent spot. All those lines, do I add all those lines in geometry or do I do normal maps? I don't know. How should I do that? Take a look at the bottom at the lower right. That's my target. It's a photograph that I found on Twitter. Can't remember the artist, but I'll link it. Unfortunately, I found it like ages ago, and I only saved the URL to the photo. Maybe I could find it with this. Ah, here it is. Did she might have posted this picture? I'm not sure if it was her that posted it. It linked back to her. But I could do some research and I could find it. It was definitely someone I followed, so I will find out who posted it. Share it with you guys. I'm just really wondering how I should do this. I wish I could, oh man. I wish I could create I wish I didn't have to deal with that corner, that edge. But I don't know how to do it without having to deal with that edge. Otherwise I can just do a bunch of lines and then extrude them out. But I don't think that that's really the best option. I might just go with a normal map, honestly. What a bit of geometry. One day I will learn Blender. Just want a little bit of geometry, not a ton. The rest I'll just try to do with normal maps. Well, dude, good luck. Doesn't take much to be me. You just upload videos and put them on the internet. That's the beauty of the internet, is that anyone can do it, and it's like there's so much talent out there that, like, you know, a lot of people say like, oh man, how do you learn After Effects so fast? It's like, there are people out there that learned After Effects. Like, I got like decent at After Effects, and then like other people just like blew past me in terms of skill. It's kind of amazing, actually. Just how fast people got good at this kind of stuff. And I am decades behind in terms of Blender. But I feel like Blender like just started getting good. You know, I don't know if that's like an accurate statement or not, but I wish there was just an easy way to get all of these points to be aligned, but I just literally can't find one. If anyone knows a good way to do that, like, see, these are like misaligned. I mean, it's probably fine, but have I ever set a monkey head on fire? Yeah. Lots of Lots of tutorials I've watched with monkeys' heads being set on fire, that's for sure. So I can see up here there's actually like a window. Here's an idea. Can I right click and subdivide just this? I can. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I have a feeling that this is actually a bad idea. There's just so many key shortcuts that I just do not know. And, you know, it will take a long time for me to learn them all. Like there's a keyboard shortcut and I just know for a fact that there's a keyboard shortcut to allow me to move this only along this axis. I have to watch the Blender Guru tutorials. I just don't want to add a whole nother subdivision like a cross. Like, because then that adds additional geometry, like just across the entire thing and still doesn't solve my problem. Oh, here's what I could do. We insert a face. It's not going to be perfect, but it might just be the only thing that I know how to do. Yeah, it created a line down the center of the window, which isn't technically correct. And there's also a keyboard shortcut to like... Oh man, there's just so much stuff that I don't know. Why don't I save this though before we get to... Windows, let me rename this. Yeah, I know the X to move on the X-axis, Y to move on the Y-axis. But what I want to do, like if I just move it on the Y-axis, you see how it like separates from that edge? There's a way to like constrain it to that edge, but I'm not sure how. There's like... In Blender, there's just so many keyboard shortcuts. Like it's unbelievable. You know, I'm almost to the point where I don't really care about the window up there, if we're being honest. We're just gonna put a sign there, maybe like an open sign or something. I don't know. I mean, I could just do this. It's just, I hate to add additional like weird geometry in weird spaces, but screw it. Yeah, we just posted a video about the isometric basketball court, so you should definitely go check that out. We actually posted 2 videos on an isometric basketball court. One was the design and one was an animation. So you should definitely go check that out. Okay, so I think our building is, like, roughly speaking, done. Proportionally not super accurate, but it is what it is. I guess I'll start maybe I'll add the door, create a door. I guess I'll start with a yeah, I'll let Eli know. He worked really hard on that video. And the views are doing okay, but not, not fantastic. So he'll be happy to hear that you're enjoying that video. Views are just down in general for us. We, everyone's busy, when everyone works. We don't have a ton of time to make videos all the time. But we definitely like to. Turn cavity and shadowing on so we can see the depth in the model mode. Not sure what that means. I know it could go in this view, but I don't know if that's what you mean. The question is, would this man be able to fit through the door? Is the door not wide enough? I'm not sure if I will make this available in the future, or I don't know if I'm going to make this available. Haven't decided yet. It will likely be available on our Patreon, not to like, you know, kick people over to our Patreon, but I think we'll make it available there just because, you know, we're always looking for stuff to post over there. But depending on how this comes out, I might make this available on our Patreon as well. Okay, so now I guess we could start making some materials. Yeah, I measured this wide, but then I wanted it to be inset a bit. So, you know, that's just, it's not 100% perfect. I think it's actually pretty close. Go to your shading tab. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I still know what you mean. Maybe under view. I don't know. I think we can just start adding some materials now. I need like, I really don't want to have to model the inside of this, so I kind of like what they did was like they have this like cardboard in the windows, and the windows look really dirty. So I guess we start making some materials. So we need some wood. Let's see. Let's like look under categories. I need to find a wood, or I need to find a like something that's like a slotted material. You know, if I use this and I invert the normal map, that might work. Let's try it. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? And then cardboard, I guess. Probably just gonna. I do not know when the next one will be up, no. I have literally downloaded this image like 10,000 times. So it's wood floor 1 and wood siding 5. Literally not enough light in this scene. Okay, I need to UV unwrap this, which is like the biggest nightmare in the world. I save... Oh, what the... I just spent all that time selecting all these faces. Uh-oh, Blender froze. Okay. Man, I really just don't feel like UV unwrapping this. Oh. I used to have a plugin that would Um, I need to get this UV unwrap to you know what's funny is I don't even need the color of this. I just need the normal. You know, some people wonder how I learn how to use these programs so fast, and the truth is I just use them all the time, and I'm just like constantly practicing in my free time. I know that it kind of sounds like obvious, but I mean, it's just 100% the truth. If you're not practicing all the time, like it's going to be very difficult to get good at a software. And I'm not trying to say that I'm like good at Blender or something, but Okay, so I got one material down. A few more to go. Rizwanimator. Yeah, so I'm getting notifications that you keep posting stuff that's getting blocked. So just FYI, I don't know what you're posting, but it is getting blocked by the YouTubes. All right, let's work on the second material now. Well, first thing we can do Okay, I found literally a blog about dirty windows, and I don't know where the photo comes from, but there's like now, oh, I guess Shutterstock is where they come from. That looks like that window from Shutterstock. Okay, Unsplash, here we come. I'm just going to try to make some glass out of some weird textures. See which one works. Wow, that looks really cool. I don't know what that is, but that looks really cool. Blender is not easy, that's for sure. I was just going to use a glass shader, but truthfully, like, I just don't think that that's going to work because I don't want to model the inside of a building. definitely not the image I was expecting. Okay, so turn the roughness all the way down. Translucent, so I see transmission. What happens if I do that? What do I get? Nothing. Okay, got it. So I want like a window that's like semi-translucent, and I guess, I mean, let's just pick translucent and see what we get. Oh, well, okay. I know why we're not getting a texture. Why is this sign not working? Maybe. No. Any ideas? Yeah, Blender is difficult, honestly. It, like, if someone tells you Blender's not difficult, well, they're probably lying. But you know what? Like, I learned it way faster than I thought. You know, I was following a ton of tutorials, and not to be like negative on the tutorial side, like obviously, you know, we make tutorials, but you just got to jump in and start making something on your own before you start to figure out what you don't know how to do and what you do know how to do. I really don't know which shader to use here, because I feel like Principle should do everything I need it to do. But I just can't get like a translucency, like transmission. Oh, I guess that actually worked pretty well, actually. Yeah, that actually worked pretty well. Let's just add a light. Can I use nodes on this light or not? Oh, use nodes. Perfect. 6500 really should not be that pink. What the? Yeah, for some reason Blackbody's not working on this light. I don't really know why. What? Maybe because this isn't set to white? This is how you learn though. Because 6500, that's what I was thinking. It should be a pretty white light. In fact, like realistically, you would expect this place to have like a much bluer light than what we're actually getting out of that. But so in the photo, there's really like no light inside. It's like very, very minor. If any, actually. But those lights are much brighter. Okay, so I think we're actually getting somewhere now. Slowly, but surely. Well, I want it to be glass, but I also want it to be like dirty glass, if that makes sense. One thing that gets annoying is that every time Blender updates, it's like all your plugins get uninstalled. That's really annoying, actually. So I need to find that cardboard image. You know, in retrospect, I should have added some thickness to that cardboard before I duplicated it. I actually, it's so funny you mentioned Moonless Golf is, I just downloaded that one, but I didn't think that it actually turned out to be all that great. Like, it's like way too bright. And I actually didn't really like the color temperature that I got. It was very orange, and so then I had to come in and do a hue adjustment to make it a little bit less warm. And then this light, take a look at that light. It just turns like basically to neon blue. So I was like, do I want that? I could reduce the saturation. Actually, that doesn't look half bad, actually. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'm going to keep that, actually. But I don't want that background back there. So I'll just have to figure that out later. All right, we're getting somewhere, actually. Why does it do that? It's so annoying that the first material you assign is like just the material that it's going to have. And for this metal, I mean, I could do something interesting with it. But I actually think once I change the material of this like front of this building, this is one of the other reasons why I was talking about earlier how I didn't want too much weird geometry. Because once you start getting all these weird geometry everywhere, like you have to like select it all, or, you know, I don't know. It's not a very, it's not like super clean feeling to do it this way. And I'm just not good enough yet to know how to build a model correctly. I should really start naming these, huh? God damn it, did I? What the heck is going on here? Oh. Huh. It's a piece of cardboard. Duh. Dark greenish watercolor for the glass. That could help. I need to start naming these materials like pronto. So we have the glass. Why? Why is this? And then we have, what do we have this? We have this one is the wood slats, and then this is just like a flat white. The high roughness. I would love to add some dirt to it, but just not gonna happen. So now I got to add the new material, which is going to be wood red. And that's going to use the other wood that I downloaded. I know there's a way to like get all of your materials to link, but another thing I can't remember how to do. So it was called wood, I think. Let's just take a look. And there's also a keyboard shortcut for that, but I can't remember that. So this redwood, it appears to be like up the side. Hi from Kazakhstan. What's up, dude? Control L links the material. That's a good idea. Good to know. You know, the green windows don't really work all that well just because the lighting is so orange. I think we need a couple scene lights. Maybe the moon. The heck happened to my moon? There is like a really orange light shining onto this building, and I don't think that it's from the overhead lamps. The overhead lights. You know, it could also be that sign in the background that's doing it. It could also be that sign. I guess we could work on the floor maybe. Which also this door, like this metal material is not really doing much for me. Yeah, it is a color ramp. So what's so hard about scenes like this, there's just so many elements that it's like impossible to make a tutorial on something like this. It's just too much. Our music stopped again. Oh, my camera's flipped. I'm not left-handed. You are the first person to notice that, by the way. Totally forgot to UV unwrap this, by the way. So I thought it was wood siding. I think it's wood floor. This is like way harder than I thought. It's very difficult to like learn, talk, stream, and do it all at the same time. It's very difficult. Yeah, I probably should. I just know that, like, for sure I'm not going to be able to model this entire scene today. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just try to get as much done as possible. No, it's not a Cyberpunk screenshot, but that would be cool if it was. So there's actually something really weird in this scene, and it's that, you know, the building is actually on a ledge, and I realize that the guy's actually not on the ledge, so my proportions of the guy's a little wrong, so the building is wrong because his feet, you know, he's a little bit shorter or taller than I was expecting. And the other thing is we notice that we've got this like weird walkway here that's also elevated off the ground. I'm not going to do that. Everyone's seen those like ghetto gas stations where there's everyone's seen those ghetto gas stations where there's like, I could talk, but I don't know how to press buttons. Come on. Come on. There. Where? There you are. With like those old planters in the front that are like, I don't know, actually, maybe not. Maybe this is a house. I don't know. All right, we're gonna wait on to do on the. We're gonna wait on the floor. I don't know how to do the floor. Well, at this point, you can't really see with the cardboard all that well, but in the window. Oh, I did attempt using F-Spy to set up the scene, but that did not work at all for me. God, what do I do next, though? I guess I kind of want to learn how to do a neon sign in Blender, but oh hell no, we're not modeling that motorbike. Yeah. I think the sign is next. I think the sign is next. What the heck, did that not get textured? Dang it. Do you know what I really love to do? I actually really love to like make stuff in real life, scan them in, and then put them into Blender. I think that that's just so cool. I just think that is so cool. All right, let's try to do a sign. I literally am just gonna have to watch a video. I'm using cycles. So let's look at the sign. Liquor. Down for that. I literally don't know how to add text. So that's, I'm guessing it's going to be Shift A. Text. There we go. Wasn't so hard. How do you modify the text? You know, these are all questions. Learn on the fly here, folks. That didn't change the text. Thought I was being clever. Does that change the text? No. So, now for how to add text in Blender. Okay, what the heck did he just do there? Okay, so he hit tab. He tabbed into edit mode, of course. Duh. How did I not guess that? That's so obvious once you know. Or once... What the heck? Why? I don't want the cursor. No. What? Object mode. Okay. No. Great. No. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. The cursor's just there. I don't know how to move it. Go into edit mode. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Thanks, guys. Yep, I got it. Cool. Now to change the font type, which is clearly under the font. Button. Okay, so I don't know any of these fonts. So So I guess that looks horrible. Definitely not going to use that font. That actually kind of looks cool. I'm going to be honest. We're going to stick with that. That actually looks kind of cool. It, of course, doesn't match what they have, but... no, theirs is way cooler. No, theirs is way cooler. Okay, I'm just going to mark this one down, though. Rockwell condensed bold. You guys have to remember that. Snap, terrible. Terrible. Been there. I've literally used that one already. It's just so boring, you know. Theirs looks so cool. Here's a tip. I'm going to use what the font. I can't lie, I'm very disappointed in this. I'm very disappointed in the results here. But we're just gonna go back to the one that we used, which was Rockwell. It's Alger. Okay, we're wasting time. Rock. Why doesn't it remember Rockwell? Like, we literally just had it. Okay, we're just gonna use that. How big would that sign be? I have no clue. Zero clue how big that sign would be. Roboto. Give it a shot. We'll see what Roboto looks like. Roboto is not even here. That kind of looks stupid, actually. We're not going to do that. I'm pretty fine with this. I literally have no... I'm guessing. Let's make an educated guess here. That the sign would be large enough to go into the top of this building. Like anything larger than that would kind of be just an enormous sign, in my opinion. Okay, so let's work on it up here. And, you know, I'm not really sure what to do with this, but I'm looking for wireframe. Doesn't exist. So I'd love to convert this text into, I would love to convert this text into make it editable. How do I do that? Anyone know? How do we extrude text? Here we go again. How to extrude text in Blender. He spelled tutorial wrong. That's okay. I'm learning. Can't be critical. Okay, he's showing you how to... Okay. He's in texture space, geometry, thickness. Got it. Texture space, geometry. Okay, geometry, thickness, extrude. There we are. I would just really appreciate if I could actually make this. I would love to make this outlines instead of just like, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers here. And I'm getting tired. Ugh. The other thing we have to realize is in the photograph, they've obviously used some LUTs, and so who the hell knows what colors these things are normally. It's clear that the light coming off of it is like an orangish color, but the light itself is actually appearing to be red. So whatever that's worth. So this light is like down the street. I mean, it's got to be at least that high off the ground. It's got to be at least that high off the ground. But it actually looks pretty tiny in the photograph now that I think about it. Like providing no light to the scene, even like it looks really far in the photo, but then it's providing so much light onto that. Is it because my world is too bright? Maybe. That's exactly why. I mean, obviously, their lighting is turning out way better than mine, but I don't hate that. I really hate it actually, but I don't know why the color's red and the light is orange. Yeah, dude, I went to modifier tab under the modifier, add modifier. What the heck? Add modifier. I don't see wireframe here. Array, bevel, build, decimate, edge split, mirror, remesh, screw, solidify, subdivide, surface, triangulate, weld, wave, warp, smooth. It's normally where I go. I do have Illustrator. Add a diffuse and emission. You got it. Diffuse and then mix, guessing. Okay, convert to mesh is something I guess I can do. Right click, convert to mesh. There you are. Let's see, add. I have a feeling. That mesh looks funky. You just can't add wireframe, bro. You can't do it. Like, you go to add modifier, there's no wireframe here. So the alternative is to convert it to a mesh. I guess a curve. I kind of like the convert it to curve because then it's not like... No, but curves don't let you add a add it either. Totally weird. We're just gonna go with that for now. But, you know, I'll be honest, I'm not seeing what this... I do have AI denoiser on, yeah. Oh crap, it's set to automatic. It should be set to optics. There is no wireframe modifier. One time I failed a test because I defined something as something sucks, and the teacher was not having any of that. Let's just keep moving forward. No need to get too hung up on that when we could make... What is this music? I really don't know why my origin point's up there. Can I set this to like 0, 0, 0? No, sure can't. No idea how that got moved, but... Why am I going through all that when I could just... What? I could just click the text. I wish, you know, this is something I love from After Effects. I could just copy the position and then I could paste the position. In this, it's like, oh, you want to copy the location, copy X, Y, Z, freaking, you know, copy everything. So it's like 7, 29, 9. Great, that's close enough. Is it? No, I don't know. That's all the way over there for some reason. Great. Okay, something's messed up here. Yeah, so it's real, like, you know, real life just works differently, you know, like this light is, these lights and cycles just don't quite work like you would expect. I don't know if it's exposure. I really don't know what it is. Adding that mix shader didn't seem to do anything. Realistic, that light's about that light, but in the picture, it's completely blowing out the image. And it's casting light, but yet for some way you could see the sign behind it. Doesn't make much sense to me. But we ain't got time to just stand around. We got to just keep moving forward. And I'm going to kind of do something that I understand is not the greatest, and that is I'm just going to bevel the edges. Why does like what is broken here? Like I'm not understanding why this isn't working. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Blender is frozen. That's never good. You know, we retro die. You're 100% correct. Oh, okay. I'm just reading comments. Yeah, dude, you're right. Like the lighting, like because you don't know what's going to be in the scene and what other things are casting light. It does get confusing. That's a good tip. Appreciate that tip. Oh, it's definitely photoshopped. I think I get what you're okay. Okay, we're back. I really appreciate your guys' help. Seriously, like learning these programs is like, you know, it's tough. You could do this in Cinema 4D in like 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if like if someone knew Blender, they could probably do this in 2 minutes as well. Like, part of this whole adventure is that I don't know Blender. Now we need more music again. It's getting like warm in this room. I've got an RTX 3090 and it like literally kicks off more heat. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's give up lighting for a bit. But really, you know, there's not that much left in this scene because I'm definitely not modeling a car. Like, that's out of the question. Just not gonna happen. Now, I could model. Let's look at the picture again. Let's look at the picture together. I mean, that vehicle is not out of the question, but I would say that, you know, it's probably not going to happen. So this is done. Now we could do this little tank over, this little cage over here. We could do the cage. Let's do that. Let's do the cage. It's real simple, right? Because other than that, like, you know, this shipping container, just download the shipping container online. I already have one actually. The cone, easy. Maybe the UV unwrapping will be annoying. The sign is done. There is like a lot of these like light poles in the scene that you don't really notice until you start drawing over them with red pens. Like, all of that adds to the scene. But I think this is like super easy to do, and you know, it could add way more geometry than's necessary. But you know, also, do you guys notice, like, dude, why is there a washing machine out here? Is that a washing machine? I think that's a washing machine or a freezer. I don't know, dude. There are so many lights in this scene, like, or light poles. That really adds to it a lot. It does. But let's make a propane tank. Or the propane thing. Let's see what you guys have to say. Make a bottom texture. Use one but done. Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. You're right. Now for this one, I actually might just do a wireframe modifier. Oh crap, what happened to my picture? Man, like, I really don't know why YouTube puts the stream all the way on that one side. Like, I literally can't see it. The text. Okay. So it's literally just a box. I think we're on the right track. I think we're I think we're doing okay here. I'm an idiot though. I think if I think I got a little tip here that could work. If I go to I was looking for I wanted to get I want to connect vertex path, connect vertex path. I think that this actually might be a pretty good little, instead of having to model a bunch of like extra stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna use J as the hotkey. And now if I add a wireframe, yes, that's what we're talking about there, folks. And I'm just going to use the metal. Which one was the metal? Material 4. So I'll rename to metal. I mean, it's like so clearly metallically metal, but in the picture it's painted. But now it does have like a mesh on it, which I'm just looking up a mesh pattern. I am just downloading stuff off the internet in a horrible fashion. I hit free download and then nothing happens, which makes me concerned, so I'm going to leave that site. Like, I literally just need a repeating mesh PNG. Let's see if CO Textures has one. Bring you guys along for this. Oh, I know Quixel will have it. I don't want to spend any money. What would this even be called? Metal mesh? Oh my god, it's here. We're just using it anyone. I don't really care. I mean, to be fair, it's not really that thick. And that's green, like white. Whatever. Honestly, this doesn't matter. Yeah, this channel, you know, I feel like a lot of other channels have pivoted to being more entertainment Not to say that you don't learn a lot, like you do learn it's the same if not more, but I feel like they've been able to pivot towards entertainment, which is not something that that we've done. I don't know how to cut this out, so I'm just going to cut this out in Photoshop. I don't know how to just only, okay, well. Why? Ugh. So you click on the wire. Click on the wire. Control I. Inverses the selection. Delete. Doesn't inverse the selection. I don't want to do one of these at a time. Why won't this inverse the selection? Control I. What? No. Control I. Maybe it's just I? No, it's not. Like, I don't... Why... Oh, it's just one of those nights. I can't... Why is this not working? I do this literally every day. I grab a color. Let me just right click, select inverse, delete. Jesus. Oh, I remember. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't know why it keeps using that ugly, stupid background, but whatever. That mesh is to this song is just horrible. Jesus. Okay, that's looks terrible, but that's what we have. That's what we're going to use because that's all the time that we have. Yeah, Blender Guru is really awesome. I watch pretty much all of his videos that he posts. Why is this metal like translucent? Doesn't make any sense. This object is like translucent. I obviously, like, why is this translucent? I just don't. Because it's intersecting. Got it. I literally had to make it a glowing object just so I could freaking see it. So dark. What do I think of Cinema 4D versus Blender? I love that Blender is free, and I love how good Blender is getting. Like, it really makes learning this stuff like way more interesting. I have Cinema 4D, but to be honest, there's just it's getting so expensive, and it seems like they're like making it cheaper, but every time they make it cheaper, it seems like it's not cheaper. So I don't know, like Blender, it's so free to get started that you literally don't have to, you know, worry about a lot of things that you actually have to worry about in this. But from what I understand, if you go to like a design facility, like they're not going to be using Blender. So in that regard, like, you know, it's probably good to know Cinema 4D if you plan on actually working in like a facility. I will never work in a facility, so I don't have to worry about that. I have very little intention of doing something like this like professionally. I guess that's not completely true, because I kind of am doing it professionally now technically, but it's like a very big technicality that I'm doing this professionally. You know, I was going to do this in one part. I think I'm just going to... I think I'm just going to do this in two. Like, I'm trying to imagine having to, like, do this full time, and, like, it just seems so, like, I would be horrible at it. Why am I making a frame? I guess because I'm getting tired. Where's my shape tool? How do I just make it? There it is. Like, why am I not knowing how to do this? I've like forgot how to use Photoshop. I mean, like, I'm spending significantly too much time on this one little component, but this is the fun part of it to me. To me, like, this is, I love putting something from 2D into the 3D world. Like, to me, that's the most fun. I mean, just like, how long did it take me to make that little sign? And why is this thing still glowing? It's like, bro, you could just be a metal. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can't. There it is. I'm not doing the whole like metal plate. We're not doing any of that. We'll add a second shelf. Kind of like how big that sign is. I know it's not realistic, but I like it, so we're sticking with it. Now I'm just gonna make a little propane tank, I guess. We will actually, I know this is gonna be so embarrassing to even say, but we will have a new Blender video coming out hopefully this week. So let's read the comments before I go any further. Cinema 4D doesn't have a real-time renderer. That's a big issue. Now, again, Eevee isn't really, like, I feel like the amount of time it takes to actually get Eevee going, it's like, it takes more time than just render the thing for me. It's like, might as well just use up my entire time rendering something since it's going to take me so long to, you know, actually get a decent result out of Eevee. I'm just trying to add maybe some interesting geometry here. So it doesn't look just like a boring ass tank, but I think I may have failed because it just looks like a boring ass tank. But it's gonna go in a thing anyway, so I don't really think it's that critical. Yeah, my never really got into that. 3D Max, never got into that. Yeah, building websites, dude, that's awesome. Making websites is really cool. You know, it sucks because that's an alpha. I can't see where my frickin' shelves are. But I'm gonna just cheat this. Well, not cheat it. I'm just gonna add an array. I wish that there was a way to like randomly randomize this a bit. Like but whatever, that's fine. Later, dude. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by and watching me fumble. But we're going. Okay, I guess now I'm gonna add like maybe like the cameras and stuff, like little stuff. It just seems like, you know, all of the detail matters, but it's like, man, like that's like so, it's like so much work for just such a small little addition. But I guess that's, you know, 3D for you. I don't want to do that yet. I like that idea, but I'm not ready to do that yet. It doesn't really look like a security camera, but guess what? It is. It just doesn't look like one. Oh, what is this gonna be made out of? Flat white it's gonna be made out of, with a glass center, and I don't know where I'm at, so I don't know how to do this any other way, so this is how I'm going to do it. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. Sketchfab. It's a really good idea. I didn't even think about that. Okay. I gotta catch up on this chat. I can't I'm like hyper focused in learning this. Let's read some messages now. How can I follow you? But Dennis, you could totally share your stuff if someone's asking for it. So Dennis, feel free to post your social media, and it'll be blocked, but then I can unblock it. Do you play games? I play way too many games. I play way too many games. Yeah. I play mostly like I'm like totally a nerd. I play mostly Call of Duty, Warzone, and I watch a ton of Age of Empires 2 on this channel called T90. Really amazing channel called T90. He is like a caster, and his videos are like literally the freaking best. I watch them like every single night. Okay, let's go browse some free assets on start on Turbo Squid. Free. Free. Great. I'm sure there's a toothbrush somewhere on the ground in that place. I'm sure there's a gun somewhere there. Oh, what can I put in my scene? You said Sketchfab? Ugh. We'll probably end the stream here in like 30 minutes. Maybe we'll catch up next week and pick up where we left off if you guys are interested. Explore, is there free? Free. 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 Okay. Oh. This would actually be perfect in... Oh my god, is this Blender also? This would actually look kind of perfect as this vehicle there. I mean, it's clearly cartoony, but like, I certainly wouldn't make something that was real. So I guess now I have to create an account. Is the quality of this stream like really bad? Because in the video that I'm seeing, it looks pretty rough. I might have to improve it someday. Attribution. Well, everyone, you can see where this came from. Now we're going to learn something new. How do you import a model and all of its textures into Blender? It's a lot of textures, and it's like all unwrapped like perfectly. Oh my god. Okay, this like stressed me out just opening it. First, let's save. File, import, object. No, file, append. Object. I'm guessing all of these are part of the plane. File, append. Mesh. You know what? Let's do this. Let's save this and let's open up the blend file. This is called Plane 18. Let's just see if everything is gonna work. I was honestly expecting it all to be linked, but it doesn't even look like. Like sometimes the like I just can't find, like clearly there's like a texture there I could see. Like sometimes like you just can't actually grab. Like it's lost. Oh, okay. Let's just see what happens. I highly doubt I'm just going to be able to add an image texture here. I just totally doubt it. But let me actually go back and, because I didn't actually import the texture now that I realize append. What? File append. What the frick? File append. I wanted. No, I don't know. Let me. No. How? Oh, man, I'm so bad at keeping up with this. Dutch people like free. I like free also. Hey, what's up? From Pakistan. How do you light the scene, dude? Badly is the answer. Badly. I use a HDRI and what the heck? My propane sign didn't come. The alpha's not working. That's not going to change anything. Whatever, I'm not going to fix that. Add lights. How do you light a scene? Well, you start by hitting Shift A, and then you hit lights. And that's how you light the scene. What time is it here? It's 11:40, so we only have 20 more minutes. How to adjust the camera, dude? I don't know. I'm copying this image. That's all I could say, is I'm just trying to copy that image. And this dude, did you know? I thought he was smoking. It says no smoking. That's how I set up my camera. Was there an FBX for? Actually, dude, you're no, was there? I just assume that when you open a blend file, it automatically just works. But I guess it doesn't. I don't even remember where. Where is the vehicle? Oh, here it is. No, it doesn't. It has the blend file though. It's the blend file. So I feel like if you have a blend file, it should just be like file open. But maybe I'm just stupid. I'm trying to append from its own file, which is just stupid of me. I mean, the textures here, right click apply texture. I wish that was a thing. Under the shading tab, I really think that it might just be, I just don't think that this is UV unwrapped properly. But maybe it is, I don't know. Why did, oh yeah, like that, how was I that stupid? Great, what other images are here? So in here we have normal. There we go. We can get a normal. An emission. That's going a little too far for me, but I could do a normal. I wish there was no such thing as a normal and normal map was just called normal, because that would make my life easier. Why open? Some nice detail added. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, for the emission, do I just do a mix? Shader with an emission? and then add in this kind of feels right, but it also like, it's kind of like when you try to like learn something and you're like, oh, like this should work. And then you realize that it doesn't work. And then you realize that you don't understand it. Oh, that totally works. Oh, that totally works. What happens if we go to... That looks pretty good in cycles, if I'm being honest. I kind of want to say that this is... I want to say that this is maybe the gloss map. I don't know why I'm doing this here and not in my main file, but I'm kind of just testing this. Here's a question. Does this have to be non-color? This is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to work. I mean, obviously the cars aren't that large. But like a car is that large, I think. All right. All right. All right. Hey Dennis, you never shared your info. Don't append. Don't append. Don't append. Oh, it worked. Yeah, yeah. Did I wax my snowboard yet? No, I have not. But I waxed it last season and I didn't use it. So I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. I got a place right down the street. It's like $15 to get it, like just like a cheap wax done. Game model, that the bump. Wow, nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm all cut up. Sorry you guys have to like deal with that. Let's get that Christmas music banging again. Let's now not allow it to move in the Z direction. So, I mean, it's really just barely on in the scene. But these lights like are not very realistic because most headlight beams like focus the light, whereas these are clearly not focusing any light. And they're really not producing much light either. Like this is where an IEC, I think it's called, or an ISC or something texture where you could like design how the light is going to spray. I mean, I think we're better off just not having any emission. I know it kind of sucks. You can't really see the truck, but there is clearly a light pole somewhere. I know I'm breaking the rule. We retro dice by not, or by, you know, by texturing before. It's so weird that the car is like, here's a weird idea. Volumetric. Use a spotlight. Yeah, that's not bad. Cool. You guys should we should get that Discord going because it's really stagnant. Really stagnant. What's we retro dice. What's your name in Discord? Because I see Dennis here, but I don't see you. Well, I don't know if I see you or not. Go get some sleep. I should. Well, I only have 8 minutes left. I said I would be off by midnight. I'm going to... is there a volumetric light? There's no volumetric light. So what I would do is save first because we're about to add a volumetric. I would just add a giant cube. And then I'll add a volumetric shader to this. What do we call this again? A volume. Man, volume just adds so much noise to a scene. But it does help bounce the light, that's for sure. Yeah, send me a friend request on Discord. I actually kind of think that this looks pretty legit, like for the time being. There's obviously let's do this. Let's do a render. We'll regroup. We'll regroup. Oh no. Let's make sure we don't waste time here. Let's catch back up maybe maybe next week at some point. Because I'm gonna mark on here what I like, what I don't like, and we can try to address some of those things and then talk about what we didn't add yet, which then we could later add. Keep starting Blender projects with big ambitions, but realize that I don't know how to make what I want to make. Dude, it's the life of learning something new. I remember I wanted to learn After Effects so badly. Actually, that's not even true. I didn't want to learn After Effects. I didn't know what I wanted to learn, but what I knew what I wanted to do was I wanted to add lightsabers to home videos I would make with my friends on a tape recorder. Like, it wasn't like a digital video recorder, it was on tape. Like, that's how long ago this was. Obviously, there was no way to import that tape into the computer as far as I knew at the time, which, you know, later you find out, well, there's capture devices that you can connect your camcorder to and yada yada yada. But I knew I wanted to add stuff into images and into, you know, onto movies, compositing really. And I mean, when you don't even know where to begin looking, that's kind of where I was, right? Like, I didn't even know what I needed to find. I didn't like how to add lightsabers into scene. I mean, that's kind of where I was when I first started. And then I got to college and I had this idea for a video, and I had ideas for this video, and I just searched literally every single thing that I needed to do as I was learning it, and I learned After Effects very, very slowly that way. And that was, had to been 22, so now it's been like 6 years and I haven't really gotten any better. Oh my god, that denoiser is having a hard time with that volumetric light. Let's bring that up to 5,000. Let's get rid of our denoiser. Here is the most disheartening thing when I was learning Blender. It wasn't that I didn't know how to build what I wanted to make. I was fairly confident that I can go and find this out. What was irritating to me was how long it takes to render something. Simple as that. And that to me was really the big showstopper. It was, wow, I'm going to make this like awesome thing. And I like to do animation. Still images are cool to share on Instagram, but I like to do animations. How in the world am I going to do an animation when each scene like this we're rendering right now is going to take a very, very long time to render? Like, not seconds, not minutes. I mean, we could talk hours per frame. That was very difficult for me to get over because you make a mistake, you know, very difficult to do. Well, NVIDIA reached out and provided an RTX 3090 Founders Edition to both me and Eli. So Eli's new tutorials will include Octane renderer with GPU accelerated effects. And it turned renders that would take, basically it was about 8 times faster than my prior GPU. 1, I was now able to use optics. 2, it was just a faster GPU. 3rd, it has AI denoiser, which is really great because it allows you to see what you're building as you're building it. Like, you notice I'm almost always in the rendered view because that's just how I work. So, you know, we were doing stuff on Real Engineering and in a channel called Real Science that we have, and stuff was taking about 1 minute per frame to render. 25 frames per second, we do it in 25 frames per second. And we're talking 25 minutes per second of video, and we're talking about, you know, 20-minute long videos. Like, there's no way we're doing fully animated videos anytime soon. Now, not to say a 3090 will solve that, but a 3090 took a 1 minute per frame down to like 5 seconds per frame. And suddenly at 25 frames per second, 5 times 5 is 25. It took 25 seconds for every minute or for every second of video. You know, we could do 30-second clips and it wouldn't take days to render. So, you know, oftentimes it's like, well, you know, don't let hardware or software get in the way, like, you know, plugins, this and that. Like, at the end of the day, Blender, if you want to do animation, you need good hardware. Simple as that. If you want to do 3D and you have good hardware, or if you want to do 3D in general, you probably should have good hardware. If you're doing animation, it's like almost necessary unless you want to use a render farm. Reduce the sample size. 512 by 512 is my understanding is to be the fastest for this graphics card. What's the song name? This is the list of the Christmas songs we've been listening to. I could share a link with you. You can get 30 days for free with Epidemic Sounds. I think it's actually in the description. All right, now to the comments. Let's see. Send me a request. Got it. Just don't send me a ton of messages on Discord. Like, can't stand a bunch of Discord notifications. Lightsaber to make a lightsaber. That's 100% true. That same. I didn't even where to start when I saw you. That sounds like a love story. In Blender, you don't need a ton of samples. The problem is the denoiser is really great, but it has limitations. So I mean, you can see here, this is what the scene would look like without a denoiser. Like right here, this block here, these blocks have not been denoised. So, I mean, like this is a very noisy image. You need to use a denoiser, and this is with 5,000 samples. Now, the argument could be made, we're not really gaining much here, but let's do this. Let's disable this. Oh, here, I mean, this is probably one part of the problem is this volume is like enormous when it doesn't need to be. But let's just get rid of the volume and let's see how fast this thing renders. Even with 5,000 samples. This is without a volume at 5,000 samples without denoising. I started learning Blender about 2 months ago. I think that this little building here has like way too much geometry. I think that's one thing. We are using translucent. We could probably bring down our... We could probably bring some of those down. We could try bringing this to 256 by 256. I mean, all of these, I mean, I'm obviously rendering at 5,000 samples. I mean, it's simple answer is that when you're rendering an image, I like to just dump a ton of samples and a ton of, you know, settings onto it. Whereas if I was doing an animation, I mean, you definitely bring your settings down. You're just, you know, you're just dealing with a lot of noise here. I think in the next live video, I want to continue doing this. So you can see here also with me reducing those counts, this became perfectly dark. So, I mean, if you're doing animation, I mean, you got to, this is 30 seconds to do. I think there's a lot of geometry here that is unnecessary, but this car obviously has a lot of geometry as well. In the next live, I mean, the issue that we're facing here is this ground is really blurry when you use the denoiser. There's just not enough light in the scene, and the glass is not helping at all. So one thing I would do probably, it's getting late, like probably just end it, is instead of using this glass, I would probably Blender Guru did a video where he talked about a different type of node setup if you want to use glass, because glass just causes a lot of noise and increases the render time. So I'm sure, and he used this node setup, if you're curious, and that could probably help. And there's a lot of things that could reduce render times and reduce the noise. You know, so I mean, you can make this losses. Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's midnight for me. It's actually 10 past. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna re-add the floor, and I'm gonna render out one scene, one shot with some improved samples. I'm gonna draw on it about what I like and what I dislike, and then in the next live stream, maybe sometime next weekend, we will come back and we will we'll continue this scene and hope that we get something that looks a little bit closer to what we had wanted before. All right, and with that said, I'm just gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna render this scene out, and if you want to support us on Patreon, you can over at patreon.com/MOBOX. You can hit up our Discord where you guys can continue this discussion, chat with each other, and you know, do your thing on Discord. Go check out Eli's latest video. It's on a isometric basketball court in Cinema 4D. It's really great. And we'll talk to you later. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.